Hello, this is Face and Style, your weekly dose of real estate education, and I am so delighted you're sharing your evening with me. On the previous edition, we started the conversation around the importance of estate survey and valuation, and luckily we still have our amazing expert come to continue the conversation with us. And also, we have other segments on the show to provide you with trends and tips to put you on the top of your game in all your real estate transactions. My name is Olamide Unifade, and I will be back in a moment. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Earlier before the break, I stated that we are still discussing the essence of estate survey and valuation. And please join me to welcome Mr. Osato Osawaye again, a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. He is the past chairman of the Faculty of Plant and Equipment, Nigerian Institute of Surveyors and Valuers. He has worked with various companies ranging from Knight Frank and Rutley to Odudu and Associates and Sultan Nigeria Limited. Presently, he is the founder of Osato, Osawaye and Co., and also the team lead of Barra Builder Services Limited. Thank you for coming again.
Thank you for having me again.
I'm so delighted that you're coming here again.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so last week I had a conversation around valuation. Why do I need an estate surveyor and valuer instead of an estate agent? We talked about what can help you to boost your valuation reports. We talked about why you need a valuation report. So going forward, I would like to say, this quackery of a business, what is the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, what are they doing about it to eradicate them from the street? And I know why I'm saying this. It's even tedious for us in our business as lawyers to conduct our business. They come, you want to transact a business, you have a closing to do, and you see all of them in your office fighting over fees and all that. They call you at odd times. They don't understand when you're talking to them about title. They don't even understand. Theirs is, I've brought a client and we need to close the deal today. They don't even give you adequate time to do your search and all that. So it's a bit, their activities is a bit unpalatable. So I would say, what is the Nigerian Institute doing to combat this menace?
All right, thank you, Lamide. It's good to know that you're a lawyer. You understand that every profession has its own challenges, And agency is a legitimate business. Like I keep saying, the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers has tried and is still trying. And what we have done now is to have an association of estate agents, supervised by the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, to try and remove all the cobwebs, all the bad eggs in the estate agency business, and get them to work supervised by a professional body like us.
Okay, to cut you, and sorry to cut you in, it means that's going to be an all-comers affair. You don't have to have any training in that regard. You can just
you need to have. You need to have some form of training. Like I keep saying, agency, anybody can be your agent, but it is the value you place on your asset that determines the kind of agent you approach. But what the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors has done for that is to sanitize the practice of agency. One of the things we do, apart from a whole gamut of other things we do as estate surveyors and valuers, is agency. Agency just means I am representing you as an agent to sell whatever you want to sell. That's not all that we do. And we understand that agency in all climes, it's a free entry and a free exit thing. An housewife can be an estate agent to her husband. A son can be an estate agent, an agent to his father. But we need to guide and supervise their activities so that the issues of quackery and somebody running away with your money is being dealt with when you have a supervisory body that you can report that fellow to or hold that person accountable to. That is why the Lagos state government is having estate agents registered to practice in Lagos.
But you are combating that. Your institution is combating that.
No, we're not combating that.
Okay.
All we're saying is that they do not regulate the practice of estate surveying and valuation. they can regulate an aspect of our profession, which is agency within Lagos State. It is the duty of every well-meaning government to do that, just like they are trying to regulate the issue of advance payment of rent. We're trying to protect its citizens, to say, look, if I put my money in the hand of this estate agent, I should be able to go to sleep, that I will get value.
Soon, and I think you're going to come back to discuss that issue of this monthly
advance payment of rent.
Yes, and monthly rent and all of that. So this takes us to the question of why do landlords prefer to use the services of lawyers as compared to using the services of estate surveyors, who are the ones that are trained in the art and science of property management?
You see, the issue of your preference is a function of your enlightenment. You know, when you choose to use a lawyer, it's because you don't understand the benefits of working with an estate surveyor and valuer. A lawyer can only deal with one aspect of your real estate holding: egress and ingress of tenants. But estate surveyor can advise you beyond just putting a tenant in your house. The maintenance aspect of the house, the making sure the house can continue to return value for your investment. These are all the skills that the estate surveyor and valuer has that the lawyer doesn't know, doesn't have a clue about. But it's a synergy. But I will advise any discerning landowner or property owner to always go to the professional. The lawyers are there to draw up the agreements, to manage the tenancy cycle of the property, of the asset. But the property management itself is the job of an estate surveyor and valuer. We work in synergy. You know, we need each other to render professional services to our clients.
Thank you very much, Mr. Osawaye. We are due for a short break. Please don't go away. Thank you for staying with us. We are still talking about estate surveying and valuation, and Mr. Osato Osawaye is still here with us. But please stay with us. We're due for a short break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for staying glued to your screens, and you're still watching Space and Style. And I have Mr. Osato Osawaye with me. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough for always coming here. So, the last time we were talking about property management and all that, but there's also an element which is project coordination, project management on site. I have heard arguments from estate surveyors saying that it is within their jurisdiction to coordinate all the professionals on site, on building sites, from the conception to the completion and to probably the sale of the property. I don't agree. Why do you think it's so?
Well, you see, the estate surveyor is a unique professional. We are trained in almost all the aspects of the built environment. You know, so we understand some elements of law, a lot of elements of law, some elements of design, some elements of construction. So we are a rounded professional. That is why we can handle the conception of the project. From the time you think of a project, I want to invest in real estate, you need to consult an estate surveyor and valuer to tell you what aspect of real estate you should actually throw in your money. Is it residential? Is it commercial? Then when you're coming up with a design, the estate surveyor can also tell you, if you put this type of building here, you are assured of this type of rental income or this type of capital value if you want to sell. So that is the unique role the estate surveyor has, or the unique role the estate surveyor plays. So we're the best among the built environment, the construction team, to be able to advise you from inception to the conclusion of the transaction. And the transaction is not concluded when you finish the project. The project needs to be able to render income in terms of rental income or sales income if you want to sell. So who is best to handle project management than the person that is there when you are conceiving the idea to the person that will manage the already conceived idea when it's in brick and mortar? That is why we say the estate surveyor is the best project manager.
Okay, I see your point. So what is viability? What is feasibility of property investment?
All right, thank you. Feasibility, as the word implies, you want to see if is the project feasible. Can I put this structure here based on zoning, based on land use, based on government regulations? Is a block of 12 flats feasible in Magodo, Shangisha?
Okay, so you're telling me that you
and
have
based on also, sorry to interject, based on also the land, in terms of the terrain of the land. Can it take a 12-story building?
Are you telling me you have elements of structural engineering knowledge?
That's part of the, that's why the estate surveyor and valuer is the most rounded professional in the building industry. We do engineering, we do graphics. We are almost like a jack of all trade and a master of all trade to some extent.
So you also liaise with government regulators?
Yes, we can handle the issues of approval. We can handle the issues of consent, because these are terrains.
Don't go there.
These are terrains that we're very familiar with.
Not documentation. That's the exclusive preserve of lawyers.
All right, let's not go into that very far. So that's why the estate surveyor, the feasibility, like I was saying, is this land feasible for this project that I have in mind? Then the viability is my investment worthwhile? Will it generate the expected income that I have in mind compared to the alternative uses I could have employed my ₦1 or my $1? So feasibility and viability is a combination of the things you need to do before you part with your money. Do I invest my 100 million on the mainland or on the island? Do I build a commercial property or a residential property? Do I do a mall or I do a shopping complex? They are two different things. Do I do warehouses or do I do open parking for trailers?
Because I can see a lot of sense in what you're saying, because most times clients come to us and say, please source for a land for us. I get the services of an estate agent. We just look at the land. Oh, is it good? I go on to do the search and boom, it's built.
The man buys and he can't get returns for his investment.
Wow.
And he's wondering, oh, Lamide, why did you get me to invest in a trailer park at Tinkan?
Some don't even know that there are particular designations for, building. Sometimes you can go and buy a farmland for residential purpose.
Yes, you can, if you don't get the proper advice.
I know a client that got into that quagmire. You already bought, you already paid, and it was coming to me.
And the agent has walked away with his fees.
The agent, they are so good at hurrying you up. They tell you there are about 10 people on this project.
It's a trade gimmick.
They are paying this week. Please pay. So what I tell my clients, investing in us is the best decision you can make. Yeah. And it's a lifelong decision.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Do your due diligence.
I'm telling you, if that land goes, another one will come. Another one would come. But agents, because they want to get their money, so I'm always very, very wary of them. So most transactions, I'm not friends with them, because they were like, lawyer, what to do? What's the problem? But I would say, just take your time. Thank you very much. I've really learned a lot from this conversation.
Same here. I've also enjoyed
And as usual, we're out of time. So quickly, can you take us through tips on buying and selling? And what I mean is, what should inform your decision? Aside from all the other stuff you talked about the viability and feasibility, we're talking about hospitals. Should it be a determining factor? Schools and all that. Do you think they're determining factors to buy property or even sell?
Well, it depends. To buy a property, you must look at the alternative, what we call the opportunity cost. There's always an opportunity cost for every naira or dollar you want to spend. Alternative investment. So if I'm investing in treasury bill compared to real estate, is it worth my while? So if you're investing in real estate, you must make sure, are you investing for rental income or for capital appreciation? These are issues that you need to discuss with an estate surveyor and valuer. It is not something you can discuss casually. You need a professional with depth of the market to advise you that go into the market for rental appreciation. going to the market for capital appreciation. These are things that you need to consult an estate surveyor and valuer for. And Lamide, we won't like to render that service for free because that is why we're called professionals, and that's how we earn an income.
And especially you who is a fellow. So tell me, what does it take to become a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyor and Valuers?
It takes expertise, it takes mentoring, and it takes development, and it's something that you have to earn. It is not a right, it's a privilege. It's the institution that will deem you privileged enough to be endowed with such pinnacle of your professional practice.
So it's equivalent to the status of a senior advocate of Nigeria in the legal profession.
Yes.
Wow, I'm really impressed. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
I am so grateful. I really had a nice time. And I hope that when we call you, you'll come again.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Osato Osawaye.
You're welcome, madam.
Thank you very much. I hope you had a nice time. I did. So moving on, we have the design tip of the week.
My name is Dr. Maureen Kebasharu, CEO Creative Director at Dewey Options Limited, an interior design firm. So today, we're going to talk about the common mistakes we make in design or decorating our spaces. So I'm going to start with colors. Some people use dark colors in small spaces. So it's important we know what's the use of color, the importance of colors. So we can use colors to make a space look bigger. So you can imagine you have a small space and using very dark colors. So that means you make the space look smaller. So that's a common mistake that people make. Another mistake is not taking measurement, of the space you want to decorate. So you have a really big space and you're putting like a sparse number of furniture in there, or you're not putting furniture of appropriate sizing, to space. So when people don't take measurement of their spaces, they can place inappropriate furniture or inappropriate decorations in the space. Another mistake is actually the curtains. So you have people put their curtain just above the window sill, and you have very high ceiling, and that looks quite inappropriate in the space. So when you have high ceiling, even if you have normal ceiling, you want your curtain to start from up there, really close to the ceiling, to give that feel of height, for the ceiling. So let's note that mistake as well. Another mistake actually is the rug size. So your rug is actually supposed to have all the furniture around it sit in it, right? So let's take the dining space, for example. You don't put a rug that just hides under the table or under the chairs, so your chairs are away from the rug and you have your rug right there in the dining space. So your rug must be big enough to have your dining set, which is the table and the chairs all sit in it. So we must pay attention to the rug size in the living room, in the dining room, even in the bedroom. You should use appropriate. You can have a really huge bedroom and you just put a very tiny rug. Your rug must be appropriate to the size of the room you're trying to decorate. So another thing is the lighting. So like we all know that lighting, is what gives life to your design project or to your living space anyways. So some people will use lighting just in one corner in the room and the other spaces look kind of dark and spooky. So you have to have lighting across the room. So lighting is very important. We have to understand that lighting must be spread across the room in a nice way. So another thing is actually the painting placement. Oh my God, I see this all of the time. So some people place the painting, it's a wall art for crying out loud, to decorate your space. They put it so high up there and people come into your space and they have to raise their head up like that. And the same vein for your television. So you want to place a TV on your feature wall and you place it so high up. It shouldn't be like that. It should be at the eye level. It shouldn't be too low and it shouldn't be too high. So placement of your wall art or your TV must be at eye level. So that's important as well. So let me give you a tip. When you're decorating your house yourself, pay attention to these little things like placing your wall painting, which you can cut a piece of cardboard, put your painting or your wall art on it, you know, and mark it on the cardboard. Take the cardboard, take it to your wall, and knock your pin at eye level, right, for an average eye person. And then you can hang your painting right there. So I hope today you've been able to learn one or two things. See you again next week.
And lastly on the show is the artisan spot. And for some reason, it's my favorite. Enjoy.
Ti wà ní ẹnu iṣẹ́ yẹn sí ọgbọ̀n ọdún. Ó wà fẹ́ ti wà torí situation iṣẹ́ wa yẹn sì. Bí dọ́là yẹn ṣe ń rise ni owó orin yẹn náà wọ́n máa ń gbówó ẹ̀ sókè. So whatever ń sìn, assuming irin tá a rà ní bí 1,000 tí dọ́là bá rise, wọ́n lè ta fún wa 3,000. So àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń gbéjẹ́ fún wa náà ọ̀n ní fẹ́ fowó kù. Ṣùgbọ́n míì kan ti mọ̀ wá pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ yẹn. Kò sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe ju pé káwa náà tẹ́ wọn lọ́rùn. Challenges pọ̀ gan-an níbi iṣẹ́ yìí. Ìgbà míì wà tó yẹ pé iná máa disturb wa. A ní rí iná ṣiṣẹ́. Generator tá a dẹ̀ ń lò kò powerful bí iná. Ó ti yé yín. So àwọn challenges tá a máa ń face, tá a máa ń dojú kọ lórí iṣẹ́ nìyẹn. So táwọn oníṣẹ́ bá dẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ fẹ́ gbéṣẹ́, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe ju pé ká wá means láti fi parí iṣẹ́ yẹn. Iná generator náà la lè lò. Àsúmì tó gbé mi ṣe wà yìí, máa ń ní program fún iṣẹ́ ni. So mo lè níṣẹ́ 3 4. So àwọn ọmọ tó ń bá mi iṣẹ́ wà. Tó yẹ pé tí bá ti níṣẹ́ tó pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, màá kọ̀ pé wọ́n wá. Àjọ handle iṣẹ́ yẹn. So lórí iṣẹ́ yìí náà, àwọn ọmọ wà tó yẹ pé àti kọ́ iṣẹ́. Tó yẹ pé èmi wà nù wọn tó yẹ pé ó ń lọ school, ó ń ti school, tó bá close in school, a wá síbi, a wá kọ́ṣẹ́ yẹn. So ó fi ń ṣe part time. So along the line, ó dẹ̀ náà ti wà láyà rẹ̀. Client wà tó yẹ pé èmi wà ó lè lóun fẹ́ gba iṣẹ́ òun ní bí ọ̀sẹ̀ kan. Tíṣẹ́ mi dẹ̀ ti wà lọ́wọ́ mi. So mo lè fún grace fún ọ̀sẹ̀ 2. Tó bá lè afford ẹ̀, so I go ahead. So èmi ìtàn dẹ̀ ti mọ iṣẹ́ wa, so kò ní doubt. Okay, kò sí problem wọn á ṣe. So láti bẹ̀ lọ, iṣẹ́ ẹ̀gán lè má tó time tèmi wá dá fún yẹn. A gbé àwọn irin tá à ń lò, àwọn irin quality. So àwọn nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ fi ń ṣe, ó máa ń last débi pé ẹlòmíì gan tún máa padà fún yàn ni. Ìyàtọ̀ tó wà nínú foreign àti local nìyẹn. Foreign bóyá wà yẹn kò ń strong, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n máa ń wo finishing. Tiwa dẹ̀rẹ̀ finishing tiwa ó lè farapẹ́ díẹ̀ ni, ṣùgbọ́n tiwa ó máa ń strong ju wọn lọ. Ìyàtọ̀ tó wà nínú finishing foreign ni pé materials wà tó ń mòdì kíní yẹn fún wọn lọ́hùn. Tiwa ń bí ọwọ́ làwa fi ń ṣe. Irú ìsìn ìgbà táwa fi kọ́ṣẹ́ tiwa ń gbà yẹn, àwa lo 6 years. A tún fi 6 years sin ọ̀gá. Ṣùgbọ́n ń sìn láyé òde ni, àwọn ọmọ tó ń kọ́ṣẹ́ ń sìn, grace wọn ò ju 1.5 years, 2 years. So àwọn náà ti wà, wọ́n ti gbà yàn dá, àwọn náà ti máa dáṣẹ́ ara wọn ṣe. Nígbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yìí gbà yẹn, mo wà ní bí 19 years mo fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yìí nígbà yẹn. So ẹ̀kọ́ rí méjì mo kọ̀ rí lórí iṣẹ́ yìí ni pé ìgbà yẹn náà mo fẹ́ kọ́, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn òbí tó bí mi wọ́n ti ríran jù èmi lọ. So àwọn ní iṣẹ́ yìí ló máa kọ́. Along the line bọ́ọ̀lù ohun mi kì í gbá, ṣùgbọ́n mi ò fẹ́ tàpá sí òfin àwọn òbí mi ni mo ṣe ìyànṣẹ́ ìláyò. Ìgbà tèmi náà dẹ̀ wá wọnú ẹ̀, mo á rí pé iṣẹ́ tó rọrùn ni. Ṣe rí iṣẹ́ wẹ́dà ọ̀pá àti obìnrin, ṣe rá wa ọkùnrin wa gan láde ní ayé ìsìn ọ̀n fẹ́ kọ́ṣẹ́ wẹ́dà torí iṣẹ́ tó le ni, iṣẹ́ ojú ni. Ó ti yé yín, nǹkan tó máa fi ń sá fún iṣẹ́ yẹn nìyẹn.
Space and style.
We have come to the end of the show this week, and I hope you had a nice time through the insightful discussion by Mr. Osato, Osawaye, and all the other segments. Please stay with us next week. I am Olamide, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, this is Space and Style.